Welcome, Wolverine Nation. It's great to be with you here today. This is Coach Maine from years gone by, but nevertheless, orange and brown all the way through.
Starting a new school is something that very few people in education ever have that opportunity, because there just haven't been many schools added in over the years.
We all met, we were in the building, and there was still, sawdust in certain spots. It's like, you sure it's going to open?
Because we didn't have a practice field. Frank Lubitsch was picking up rocks and they were trying to get it ready for us. And that was part of the practice, was rock picking. We had fire hydrant. We would water the field and trying to get grass to grow. It was a real adventure.
It was a school that was just beginning. And everybody realized they were trying to establish some sort of tradition or some sort of image as to the kind of school it was going to be.
We started off at that time with 3 simple words, and those 3 words were faith and work and discipline. Faith is a belief that things that are not seen can be achieved. Without faith, of course, we can't really do anything in our lives because there has to be a vision. Second thing was work. If you don't work, that means you really don't have any faith, because if you have faith and you really believe that dreams are possible, you're going to work towards that. And the third thing was discipline, that we're going to try to do things right even when nobody else is looking.
I've spent 23 years there, and it's about 1/3 of my whole lifetime, and it was phenomenal.
There were so many ways for students to have fun and be engaged at school that it made the work part a lot easier.
My fondest memories of teaching will always be at Elyria West.
They thought maybe brown and orange would be a good one, because when people would see that, they think of the Cleveland Browns and not Elyria West High School. But it didn't work. All over Elyria, when you see orange and brown, it meant Elyria West High School.
Coming in there from the junior high was a nice thing for me, because when I arrived, so did the kids from the junior high. So I had some of those kids for 7 years.
I am second generation. My dad is Robert Woolbright, and my mother's Linda Henderson. They both are alum. I am an alum, and so I am so proud to have had the opportunity to have their teachers, and I had the opportunity to be in that building with that orange carpet, and it was amazing.
Sports Club is tonight. When? Sports Club is tonight. I remember when I was first invited to come to visit Elyria West, and Mr. Fitzwater gave me the tour, and he said, "Hey, we really want you here." And I think when you talk about Elyria West, you feel wanted. You feel wanted all the time.
It was great being in a small school with you really couldn't get in too much trouble, because everybody knew, there weren't too many places to hide. And Mr. Fitz was walking around there. He'd make sure we got back to class where we're supposed to be there. So,
and that experience is, you only get in a smaller school situation of that setting, that you can see the whole unit. Bigger isn't necessarily better.
You knew almost every student at West. And consequently, when somebody did something wrong, they knew they were going to be punished, because we knew who they were. And we worked together to make sure that the discipline was good.
And in the course of 4 years, you knew virtually every student who walked through the doors. I think those of us who taught at a smaller school would say, I'd vote for the smaller school all the time.
Whenever we got jackets, letters, it was huge. Something that really made you be a part of what you were taking part of.
I have so much pride in being a Wolverine. It's a little school, just like that little animal, but it has so much power. It has so much might, and that's what the spirit of being a Wolverine was for me.
The interesting thing was, even at that time, is we were told by a number of people that, well, you guys are never going to get anything done over there. And all we heard was never, 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 never. Well, to us who were there, we're thinking, boy, this is great. Just keep saying never. Because for us, anytime you say never, then on our calendars, we're circling a date. And say, oh yeah, well then by then, we're going to do this. The achievements just multiplied and multiplied till 1992, our baseball team won the state championship in Division II, Coach Zabusky's team. And it was an evidence totally of whatever the mind can conceive, the body can achieve. As somebody once said, we didn't always have a lot of things, but we always had us.
I just keep telling my wife, it's like a family.
It was a family. It really was a family.
It was like a friendship family.
It was like one tight-knit family.
The person doing the demolition, he asked me if we were closing down this school, because he's not from the area, because of a tragedy. And I said, why do you ask? And he said, there are all these wreaths and pictures all over the fencing around the school. And we're just wondering what happened. And I said, well, it's just the opposite. Nothing really bad happened there. It was just all good. And I said, no, you are seeing firsthand how close they are.
There's an African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. The community came together and financed after-prom parties. The community was very involved in athletics. Even the people that didn't have students there would be standing around watching practices when they were outside, watching games. They came to games because they were supportive.
The community in general in the West Side has always been supportive of West High.
Is the orthopedically handicapped students had a much easier time of getting an education.
We were mainstreaming orthopedically handicapped kids.
Yeah.
They were very visible to every staff member and every student. And the reason, because we're a single floor building.
We didn't know we weren't supposed to like each other. We just knew that the rest of the city didn't like the West Side, so we didn't care. Really didn't care what color we were. We just got along. We were West Side, so.
And the thing that amazed me about the cafeteria duty, the students would go get their food and sit at the closest table, and they didn't care who they sit with as long as they sit down and eat.
The housing pattern on the West Side was different than the rest of the city. There was a lot of integrated housing.
Oh, quite a lot, yeah.
Particularly on Lake Avenue.
Yeah.
And I've always been of the mindset, if you live and work and interact with people on a regular basis, all these stereotypes that people have get destroyed.
When we went from 93 to 94 and particularly in 95, it became real obvious that they're going to probably close the school. So in communications with one another, we would say even back then, West forever, West forever. And it was kind of a thing of kind of a defiance, I guess. But nevertheless, it was very heartfelt sentiment that the value of West was indescribable.
I used to like the expression, a founding mother and a pallbearer for Elyria West when it closed. And that might sound silly, but that's as deep as it went for me.
I remember vividly having girls basketball practice in the gym after school that night, and Coach Oblock went down to the meeting, and I didn't want to go, on whether West was really going to close. And I remember that he came back in and said, let's get everybody together, which we did, and that the building was closing, and it was devastating. And I know that most of the girls started crying, and we got together and talked a little bit and just sent them home. We didn't even practice.
It was a terrible time to be the principal of that school and to manage everything that was going on. And he did it so well. And I still remember that it was a picnic or whatever we had in the library one night, and you brought in wine. And somebody said, are we allowed to have wine in school? And you said, what are they going to do? Shut us down?
When we had to go through the closing, that was pretty awful. That was bad. The kids were sad. The staff was sad. So we had to do some unusual things. He's not supposed to tell that other story that he told. But people were hurting. People were very sad. It was their work family. We worked through that. And that did not kill the spirit. That probably bonded forever.
I got my brick.
You got your brick.
I got my brick. I'm going to get it sealed and painted, and it's going to be around forever.
Way to go, guy.
Going to be around forever.
There you go.
The scholarship program is great because we don't have to sit back and say, boy, I wish. We have something tangible to look forward to. And that is exciting because now we really can say, well, that's forever. Because it's not going to be just in our hearts, it's going to be in a tangible scholarship program.
The scholarship means a lot. It's a very important, I'm so proud that they're doing this, and it's a great opportunity for so many. It's community, and like my dad just said, it's family.
I think the scholarship would be a very nice thing to at least keep the memory of the school alive, and I'm sure there'd be a number of people who'd say, what about Elyria West? I never knew they had another school in town. And they would create that kind of legacy.
As far as the scholarship goes, being a school-oriented person, I always think scholarships are great. The fact that West existed will be out there to all the students at Elyria to find out about.
I think the scholarship is a great idea, and it will keep the memory of West living on for a long, long time. And I urge you that, you know, if any of this means anything to you, see what you can do, see what you can put into the scholarship fund.
I urge everyone in Elyria to support this effort because the memories of West, the building is gone, but the memories live. And the memories will live on eternally if we can continue to keep the concept of community and the import of education in that community and the fact that education actually worked at the West High community alive.
I think the scholarship program is a unique way to carry on the spirit of Elyria West beyond the walls. Since the building is no longer with us, what they can't take away is the memories and what we bring to the table. And if anything, hopefully that'll irritate the West haters the most, is we're still here. And we still get together every year. We're still strong, and we don't give a damn what you say.
Please support the Elyria West Scholarship Fund.
I pity the fool who don't support
Dad,
you. Give him money. Bring your money. Bring your wallet. Bring everything you got. Every dollar counts.
We'll take your checks.
Every dollar counts. I pity the fool who don't participate.
I'm so
Aluminum cans.
Welcome to Elyria West Wolverine.
ATM, we'll
Go
see
West. Yeah.